So I was just walking around the RV show and I saw this giant deck and this sunroof, sun patio. What do you call that thing?
Rear observation deck, kind of the technical term, but yeah, sun patio.
So I found Matt Eppers. He is the product manager for the foundation line.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And these are interesting because I've seen these before, but I've never really understood kind of what it is. So it looks like a normal, looks like a travel trailer, a giant one. How long is this?
Yeah, so the box itself's 43 feet, but when you add on the rear patio on the back, we're 48 foot, 6 inches from ball to bumper.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So I bet that's fun to tow.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit of a tough tow, but more permanent sight.
Yeah, so if you haven't figured out, this is basically designed to, if you buy a lot and you're setting it up on there permanently, you're not gonna take this from site to site. So I thought it'd be interesting to kind of go through this, take a quick tour of it. It seems like it's very RV-like. There are a few things different inside, but then at the end I'm going to have some questions about like how the plumbing and stuff is different, because you probably don't have tanks on this.
We do, yeah. So we do, and that's a big difference. If we were to delete tanks and get in kind of that park model, which would kind of get out of RV and a little bit more towards the house. So we do have pretty large, robust tanks on this thing.
Okay. What is the difference between a park model and a destination?
Yeah, a lot of it is just in the size, the square footage, and then some of those small components. Everything here, to your point, still a travel trailer. If a customer wanted to, they could still tow. RVIA is still certified as a travel trailer. Park model doesn't have that designation. One of those being the tank, some of the plumbing. So this is plumbed just like an RV. Some things we do special in the foundation or brass plumb fittings, but it will have very large tanks. Now, if you're at your permanent site, what's nice is you can keep those releases open and just actually plumb them right into essentially like a ground reservoir.
I need to jump in here and clarify what was just said just a little bit. The tanks in the foundation model that we're touring are just like the tanks in this RV and every other RV, which means you never ever want to leave the black tank gate valve open. What will happen if you do that is every time you flush the toilet with solids in it, those solids will hit the bottom of that tank, the liquid will drain away and the solids will stay. And that'll happen over and over and over again, and you'll get what's commonly referred to as a poo pyramid. Poo pyramids are bad. That poo will stay there and just get harder and solidify and be like concrete in your tank and very difficult to get out. The poo pyramid is real. Just ask your local RV tech. I've heard horror stories. So you want to keep that tank closed and always pre-fill that with maybe 3 to 5 gallons of water after you dump and flush it, and use plenty of water every time you do number 2. In addition to pre-filling the black tank with a few gallons of water after you dump it, we highly recommend you treat your black tank with Liquified. Now, we've used several different RV treatments over the years. We've been using Liquified now for about 3 years, and it has not let us down. We love it. I don't know what kind of magic enzymes are in here. I'm not even really sure what an enzyme is. I just know it works. It helps to break down the solids and the toilet paper, and it also does something to just completely eliminate the source of the smell versus just trying to cover it up with perfumes and scents. It's so simple to use. You squeeze, you fill a little tank up, you pour it in, you flush it, and then you're done. We think you're going to love it. Give it a try. Use the URL on the screen or the QR code, and we'll also have some clickable links down below, so we hope you try it out. Thank you to Liquified for your continued support of our channel and for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the foundation tour. And we were just discussing before we walked out here how, this has got like a little deck on it right here because, a lot of your destinations, your park models, your places that you buy, you're going to build a deck right up to it anyway.
You are, yeah. Most customers, again, you're going to sit this, it's going to be more permanent site. So we see it a lot. They'll build decks, really large decks that go all the way up and down the camper, spot to hang out, put grills, whatever that may be. So we've worked hard to put a lot of connections. We can talk about that on the door side. When you look at, first off, kind of the size and the height of where we put stuff on the unit, a lot of times you're going to see them a lot lower, but you can see how far the floor line on this unit sits off the ground star here behind the easy antifreeze. Yeah. Right, and that's because we know, same way that this is mocked up, a lot of times you're gonna have a large deck here. And we've actually done a couple options. So the awnings, and you'll notice there's full coverage awning on that 42-foot side. It's actually an option because in some neck of the woods, they actually do have customers that'll build screen porches off the side of them as well. So it's kind of cool. We try to make it as versatile as possible. So whatever that end customer's looking for their site, we can utilize.
And how tall is this thing? This looks pretty high.
It is, it's very tall. So we're just under, we're right at the legal limit.
13.6.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, 13.6. And that'll be our AC. And then actually that railing up there is all fixed, which is nice too, so you never have to worry about folding it down or any of that. One of the cool things we're really excited to implement on this product is the new door. And again, kind of being more permanent site, following the residential trend. You notice it's a square glass door. And on the inside, you got nightshades from the top and bottom kind of pull down so we can get some of that privacy and keep the heat out.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep. But a new door via our friends over at LCI, and we're excited to partner with them on it. And then you'll have awning lights. You can kind of see it's tough to see in the daylight, but those are all fusion lights, which is nice, that diffuse lighting. And then we'll do some accent lighting there for and a porch light as well.
Awesome.
If a customer wanted to, they could put the LCI flip down steps, kind of the airplane steps that we have as well. The reason we don't implement them from the factory is because, again, we know most times there's going to be maybe a permanent structure built here.
Cool.
And this is our current floor plan, but really, why foundation? Why do we develop this line? And, you know, at Grand Design, we want customers for life. And part of that life cycle, we're finding a growing part of that life cycle is more permanent sites where people are buying, renting sites that they go to, and they're not pulling their unit, but they're using them almost as condos or little vacation homes.
Right.
And we're seeing some of that in our larger fifth wheels, and heard a customer call for it. Man, we'd really like something that's a little bit different towards what some of our competitors were building. So we're excited to get into the destination space with the Foundation 42 GD. We started with something that nobody's ever seen before, we're really excited about, which is that rear lofted observation deck.
Yeah.
Giving our customers an ability to get out, whether it be on the permanent site, lake lot, city lot, whatever that is, and getting a different kind of perspective and being elevated up. So really excited for that. But what we focus on here in Foundation from the design is really three things, which was being residentially inspired, not just in feature set, but in construction, with a couple different things we do there, but also unique floor plans and features that kind of fit a different, a different set for our customers that maybe they haven't seen out in the market yet.
Yeah.
Trending again a little bit more towards that residential. And then lastly, we're just getting into some innovative and exciting product ideas, things we haven't seen before, and I'll show you some of those as well. We can start in the kitchen. So construction-wise, one thing we talked about, and that was important for plumbing, we do use brass plumb fittings all the way throughout the unit, and then we're PEX to PEX, plastic to plastic where need be. But the other big one for me is 3-stage water filtration. And that's talking to our consumers at campsites. Maybe sometimes they don't have the best fresh water. On a more permanent site, when you're sitting there and you know, it's not, hey, we got to put up with it for a couple days and then we're leaving. We want to make sure that our customers have great drinking water that's clean, tastes good. So we partnered on a 3-stage water filtration. All the filters and everything are in there. And then if a customer wants to replace those, they scan a QR code, they can get them sent right to them. And then the other big one, and this is along that residential theme, to my knowledge, the first in the industry to do it, but we partner with our friends at General Electric. We use a full kitchen suite of GE, but this is a residential dishwasher with a sanitation cycle. So it works just like the one at home. When I'm camping, doing the dishes is part of what I don't enjoy doing. So we brought that here, put it in the island, which is nice, really efficient use of space and functional space. And then paired it right next with the pull-out trash can storage, which would be another kind of big feature for us in the foundation we're going to put in every floor plan. A couple other things we're going to have over here. One will be an electronics drawer. So it's kind of nice. I don't like having wires and everything on my countertops. Beautiful setup again with GE and the OTR over the range microwave. 4-burner, very big oven, residential oven. All of our drawers here are built dado cut, and they're soft close, but they're also undermount close. So it creates a larger drawer for us and it doesn't eat some of that storage. Really excited to have that. And then one of the creme de la cremes, one of the big products for us here is our pull-out pantry.
That's nice.
Yep. And what's really nice here is all the drawers are floating, so they're adjustable.
Oh, so you can adjust. Oh, I see. And you've got pegs here, so you can. That's nice.
Liner in all of them, and then your spice rack and a paper towel holder. Getting into the living room, direct view entertainment. Which is really exciting, but really big L sofa. We took a page out of Solitude's book, partnered with Apex Furniture, and this is ultra leather fabric, which is really nice. And it's cool, kind of a hidden little part here is it does pull out into a trundle bed. So it's nice. You can sit here. It comes out into a really big sleeping space as well, nice. But an even better lounging space for us. But storage, we know at a more permanent site, we always have things we need to store. We made a prep slot here, a vacuum prep slot, Dyson prep slot. So it's back for it, and then you have your outlet. You can plug it right in. If you don't want to use those, it's another great broom storage spot. But it's kind of great I call it that random storage that you have for cleaning supplies or everything that we put in a home that a lot of times in RVs there's no storage for.
Yeah.
So we really worked hard to implement this, and this will be in our 42 GD and future floor plans as well. All solid surface countertops for us, and that'll be in the bathroom as well.
We skipped over the fridge. There's like a regular residential fridge.
It is.
Probably no need for a DC fridge in a model like this, right?
No, yep. This is 110 volt outlet, or 110 volt, I'm sorry. And then again, floating shelves in here so the customer can kind of choose where they'd like to use. Yeah. And then big freezer underneath for you as well. So residential everywhere we look. And then one of the last things we talked about, the windows. I love kind of the natural light and camping and all the views. So we worked really hard to put the biggest windows that we can have. And actually we'll see some larger windows and kind of our full production. This was one of our pilot runs coming offline. We'll see some larger windows, but we know with all these blinds, it may be tough to get some privacy, or if it's a hot day, we want to get cool. Oh. So you will have power motorized shades all throughout your living room, all the way through. Pretty nice.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Very easy to use. It's different zones, so you can actually control them individually if you'd like. We got it right now set up to where they're all on one.
Yeah, that's nice though.
Yeah.
Hey, it looks like we've got 3 Coleman ACs.
You do, yep. So 3 Coleman ACs. They're all 15Ks. They're all integrated with a heat pump as well, though, which is nice.
Good. I was going to ask about that.
Yeah.
So all 3 of them have heat pump.
They do. So
that's
you have
great.
A really robust furnace, 35K BTU furnace,
right.
And then direct dump into the underbelly, 12-volt tank heating pad. So really well insulated, really well built there. But hey, we're down in Tampa, Florida. It doesn't get that cold, but if it is a slight chill, instead of firing up that propane, let's just hit those heat pumps and that'll help heat up the unit.
So it looks like this is kind of like a kid's loft up here.
It is, yeah. So this is kind of the kids' play center, our loft up here, which is nice. You're going to have a 60 by 80 queen bed up there. So you got a little play table here, and then you may not be able to sit. You may need to walk up the stairs, but there's a foot nook down there as well, so kids, adults can sit actually with their feet down.
When I was a kid, I would have thought this was just amazing.
Oh, the best, right? You'd never want to not camp. It'd be fun. Functional and thought out. So like even looking at the table here, what you'll notice is on the top, you have 2 cabinet doors. Those will open up to be really wide storage, and then under the table, you have kind of separated easy in and out storage, great for board games, blankets, whatever that may be. Yeah. So prepping all of our units with the Starlink prep, and you got enough space there where you could put the router. We intentionally put it in the center of the unit. That way, as you do get your Wi-Fi, it's not, in the bedroom and then we get bad Wi-Fi at the back or vice versa. So we're always going to try and center that for you. Bathroom-wise, really excited in our bathroom. We went with a full fiberglass shower in the shower tower, paired it. Really good space in here and good head height, which is really nice. Vent fan there to your right because we do have the loft ahead of us.
Yeah, I was going to say there's no dome in this one because above is the kids area or the loft, yeah.
Yep, and then solid surface countertop in here, and then again, great storage everywhere you look in the unit for us.
Huge medicine cabinet.
Porcelain toilet.
And that's kind of a difference too. This is a regular RV toilet. It's not a residential, so this is kind of like you said, in between.
Yep, or that park model, you'd see this be more towards that true residential. Tankless water heater, 62,000 BTU tankless water heater.
Before we move on to the bedroom, I want to revisit what we talked about a little bit with the whole tank thing. As I mentioned, never ever leave your black tank gate valve open. Poop pyramids are really bad. But what if you want to leave your gray tanks open? We actually do that. When we're on a location, for more than a week or so, I will open up our gray tanks for our kitchen and our bathroom. We like to leave those open so that we can take indefinite, unlimited showers with our on-demand water heater. We can wash dishes and we can do all the normal stuff without having to worry about the gray tanks filling up. Now, when we do this, I am cautious. We try not to put, let food solids go down into the gray tank because they're not going to build a pyramid, but they can get in there and just kind of rot and stink. So we try to limit that. The other thing that I do if we leave our gray tanks open is I will put a little P-trap in our sewer line so that sewer gases can't get back up. It's not pretty, it's not perfect, but it actually holds water, and the primary purpose of that is just to stop the gases from coming back into our RV. Then what I do is a day or two before we depart, I will close those valves and let those tanks kind of fill up. That way we get a nice good flush coming out of there after we dump our black and do our grays. It flushes all that out. But what about this foundation model that we're touring, or even just a regular RV that you might stay seasonally in. What if you want to have more residential feel and leave your black tank open and not have to worry about the poo pyramid? Well, when I was walking around the RV show and the MORryde booth, I saw this cool thing, which is a black tank bypass valve kit. And this is really the only way you can leave that open. What this does is just like it sounds. It bypasses your black tank completely and makes a path for your toilet to go straight into the plumbing and out of your RV. Now, of course, you do want to have a P-trap in that situation also, not just for the sewer gases, but you also want, I would call it a better P-trap. And MORryde has a solution for that too with this kit. And you can see it kind of holds the hose in a proper smooth flow P-trap. Now, the reason you would want something like this over my ad hoc sort of let the hose dangle P-trap is it's not just for sewer gases, it's also so that those solids can flow through smoothly. Now, this black tank valve kit, there are some caveats around which kind of RVs it can go in, which it can't. It is a permanently installed thing that has to be plumbed into your system. It's not like you can just hook it up on your gate valve and be done. But if you're going to be seasonal in a location for a long time, this might be a great kit for you. This is not sponsored or anything. This is just something I saw walking around the RV show, and I thought it really applied to this foundation model. If you wanted to switch it over, you could even swap out your RV toilet for a normal residential toilet if you had one of these in. I'll let some links to this stuff down below if you're curious. Now let's get back and finish this tour of the foundation.
So bedroom wise, right, this is a really big kind of area for us in this floor plan. Couple things that'll stand out. One, residential king bed.
Yeah.
So you'll notice we use the word residential, but it's a true king bed, same way we use a true queen up top. USBs, USB-C outlets on either side of the bed and kind of CPAP prep. Fireplace is really exciting to work that into the front cap, and you can just see how beautiful that window is there.
Yeah, that window's nice.
Yeah, big 50 by 80. It does have a pull-down shade, so we can block that out as well. Of course, give you privacy. The big thing for us in the bedroom we want to prioritize is storage and space. We know as a more permanent site, customers don't want to be packing up. They don't want to be living out of a suitcase.
Yeah.
So what we'll see in really some of our competitors in this space is maybe a televator with the fireplace here, but it eats up all your storage. We didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So we did the fixed smart TV up top, again, the fireplace in the front cap, and then you can see the amount of storage that you have, kind of his and her side.
Giant drawers, yeah.
Yep, and then there's
and what
two.
About in here?
Yep, so hidden storage down there and kind of your nook, which is a great spot for putting shoes on or just sitting.
That's neat, I like that.
Yeah, hidden storage, and then coat hooks, and another little spot for hidden storage we have here is actually in the top here. We do have hanging storage, and then again, finish off drawers underneath for you. So that's really nice. And then one of the other big residential features that we have, and this one will be optioned with it, but is our washer dryer prep, and of course this one's installed. And that'll be a standard prep option to get the washer and dryer.
You can get that from the factory.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
So as we come out onto the rear deck, you actually have two. Here's your lower, and everything we talk about here as we go up top will be the same, but underneath us we're gonna have a full composite floor, and it's a woven boat flooring, so it's impervious to water.
Yeah.
Water's not gonna hurt it, no maintenance for you or anything there, which is really nice. And then all your handles here are actually gonna be underlit, so it's tough to see here in the daytime, but there will be lights that come off those.
Oh, I see them under there, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see those up top too, so when it's a little bit darker out or we get tonight, really, really great view, but let's go up top and see what makes it different. And this is our rear lofted observation deck. And what this does is gives customers a different kind of living functionality or opportunity at the campsite. Like even here, we're at the Tampa show, you get up here.
Yeah, you can see forever.
You can see everything. And I you know, when I'm camping, I like seeing things. I like the views. I like the thought of being able to get up and maybe see over all of my neighbors' rigs and see the mountains or the lakes or whatever that may be. So this being a more permanent site, hey, it's a great spot. We could put a sun deck up here or sun chairs.
Yeah.
We fit bistro tables up here. We've done a lot of different things.
Telescope would go great up here.
Yeah, great spot to come up, read, grab a drink, whatever that may be. We've integrated some cup holders for you there too. Looking at the roof, and this is one of the biggest features that we have on the foundation. We worked in that one-piece fiberglass TekModo roof.
Oh, wow.
Which is that kind of maintenance-less roof that we have. It's on solitude. Momentum's working towards it. But what this is you'll notice if you look at the roof how clean it is.
Yeah.
No self-leveling seal, it's all automotive grade gaskets. It's a big one-piece fiberglass. And then underneath that, you're also gonna have composite panels. So with foundation and knowing that this is a permanent site, we worked really hard to make it as maintenance free as possible.
It looks like you got some solar prep there.
Yeah, so there is solar, and that's new.
Is that just in case somebody wanted to put this in a spot that might not have 50 amps?
Nailed it, Chad.
Yeah.
So that's new for really destinations. Not too many of our competitors do it. We know that 99% of the time this is going to be plugged in, but hey, if the power goes out or we're going someplace where we don't have that, we wanted to solar prep it so you're wired for up to 600 watts, up to a 30 amp solar controller, and up to a 2,000 watt inverter prep that's hot to all outlets.
Well, thank you for the tour, Matt. This was very interesting. Yeah. I've always been curious about this kind of format, and you kind of summed it all up for me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the video.
We'll have all the details of this guy linked down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.